Hi, it's Gary Carpenter with Master Real Estate Academy, and today's video is about goal setting, a little bit more laser focused on the 50 reasons. If money wasn't an object, what would you want? What would you want to create in your life, and what direction you'd want to go? So chances are, if you're watching this video, you're between session 1 and session 2, and one of the things that of homework that you needed to get done was filling out 2 worksheets. So looking at goals as a magnet, pulling you into the future. So it could be 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10-year goals. But the idea is to come up with some big goals that are going to be purposeful to draw you into the future. So I wanted to jump on here and talk about the homework for this week of the 50 reasons. So the idea of this is to come up with 50 things. I mean, it could be 100 things. It could be 25, it could be 30, but we landed on 50. And you want to goals are kind of like a magnet, so they pull you into the future. I'm sure most of you have seen the video, The Secret, which is the law of attraction. Creating a goal. A lot of times we get caught up when we say, okay, I want to make $1 million, or I want a new Tesla, or I want to take my family on an all expense paid Hawaii trip. Is that we typically get caught in the how am I going to pay for that, okay? And from that standpoint, all you want to do with these 50 things is you just want to write things down. If money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, if nothing was an issue, what would you want for your life? What would you want for yourself? What would you want for your family? What would you want for your friends? What would you want to create? So just to kind of take you down an idea list to help you think a little bit on this, a few things like, what new skills would you want to learn? Okay, so would you want leadership skills? So if you learn leadership skills, there's going to be some kind of classes that you're going to want to take, that you're going to need to take. But what leadership skills do you need? Do you need them as a parent? Do you need them as an entrepreneur, somebody who's running a business? Where do you need to get better at those leadership skills? And then communication skills. Do you need to communicate better? Playing an instrument. Do you want to learn the tuba? Or maybe a tuba is too heavy for you. Maybe you want to learn the guitar or the violin. And again, get yourself out of, where am I going to find the time to do this? Or how am I going to be able to afford that? Just write things down that you think you want to do. And what's going to happen by going through this process is you may not, in one setting, you may not create 50 reasons, right? Or 50 things, or 50 goals. And some of those goals may be 1-year goals, some of them may be 3-year goals, some of them may be 5-year goals, heck, some of them may be 10-year goals. Maybe you want a new car. Maybe you need a new car. Maybe you want to buy a motorcycle or a boat or a jet ski or some kind of watercraft, or maybe a snowmobile. And maybe you want to take the family on a vacation. Where would you want to go? Where would you want to go in the United States? Would you want to go to the beach, go to Florida, go to California? And then what would that look like, right? Would you be staying in an Airbnb? Would you be staying in a hotel? Maybe you want to go on a cruise. Maybe you want to go to Paris, or you want to go out of the country. Maybe you want to go to the Promised Land, and you want to go to Jerusalem, Bethlehem. I don't know what your goals are, but the idea of this video is to kind of give you things to think about. So what cities would you want to see? In the United States, outside of the United States, what countries would you want to go to? Maybe you want to stay on and go to South America, go to Mexico. Maybe you want to go to Alaska. Maybe you want to climb a mountain. Maybe you want to write a book. Have you ever thought about writing a book? Do you want to learn to fly? Maybe you don't want to be the pilot. Maybe you actually want to be the one that jumps out of the plane. Maybe you want to learn to play tennis, play golf. You're never too late. Maybe you want to play some pickleball. And maybe you want to play pickleball in a crazy place. Maybe you want to invest more money. Maybe you want to invest money, help your kids pay for college, send them to private school. You want to stop some habits. Maybe you want to start some good habits. People you'd like to meet that are alive, obviously. The Pope, Oprah. Maybe you need to go visit a family member that you haven't seen in a long time. here's one thing that I will say about goals. If you aren't intentional about the things that you want to be created in your life, 1 year out, 3 years out, 5 years out, 10 years out, you're going to end up there in 3 years. You're going to end up there in 5 years. You're going to end up there in 10 years. Now, the question is, where are you going to end up? Are you going to end up frustrated, not liking the life that you're living? The only way that that gets created is by you intentionally, purposefully putting things and writing things down and dreaming about some of the things that you want to accomplish. At the end of the day, we all get caught up in our analytical mind, and we sit here and say, well, I don't have enough money for that. How am I going to pay for that? I don't have enough time for that. Where am I going to find the time to do that? All of those types of things start to get in there, which then creates this blockage for dreaming. The idea of the 50 reasons is to write down things that you would like to do without money. I'm going to repeat this again, without money and without time being an issue. Just sit down and dream about this. Once you start this process, I'm just going to tell you, you can't stop it. Now, in one sitting, you may not come up with 50 reasons. But when you start this process, because of the law of attraction, you will start to think of things. You will start to be attracted and maybe see websites and TikToks or whatever, however you get your information, and be attracted and start to see things that were always there, but they're now appearing to you because you're going through this process. So, a lot of times when I talk about these 50 reasons, the challenges that I get from people is that, I don't want to just write things down to write things down. I've been doing this, not so much writing down specific 50 reasons, but Lou Holtz wrote a book, and I can't remember the name of it, but he made a set of goals, and he wrote down 110 things that he wanted to accomplish between now and when he died. And so he started to write those things down, and he started to accomplish those things. He started to check those things off. Wanted to win a national championship, wanted to coach Notre Dame, wanted to meet the Pope, those are just a few things that were on his list. And these things will change too. As you kind of go through, keep that list in front of you. Things are going to change over time. Your goals are going to get bigger. You're going to want to see things. Maybe the things that you wrote down now you aren't interested in those anymore. So, but I just challenge you this week to write down the 50 things, the 50 reasons of things you want to accomplish in your life. So if you have any questions, please give me a call. Thanks for watching this video, and we will talk to you soon.